Welcome back to another week of Procrastination Garage. My name's Matt, and on this channel we work on projects, nothing major, but we're just trying to get things done. This channel is about keeping me accountable and hopefully provide some entertainment to you guys. So let's jump right into it. Do you ever have that deja vu feeling? Well, that's the way I am today. Here's what's going on. You'll remember a few videos back, took the ATVs and loaded them up. The idea was to get them inspected so I could get street licenses for them. Well, unfortunately, the business that was going to check them, they had things going on the next day. I couldn't get it done, so it still hadn't been done. So we're going to try again today. So let's get the sideboards off and get the ATVs on here. Hey, we're moving up in the world. I've got a tripod. Yeah, actually, I had a tripod. It was a matter of finding it. So now we'll just run the video and you can watch and see how easy all these sideboards come off. Loaded up and strapped down. Let's try this again. All right, we're back. Got them inspected, got the paperwork. That's the good news. The bad news is tomorrow I've got to deal with the licensing agency and get it taken care of, but it shouldn't be a problem. Now let's get them unloaded. Now let's put the sideboards back on. They don't go on quite as easy as they came off. Tomorrow's Friday, you know what that means? I gotta mow the rental. So we're all set up, ready to load the mower in the morning. This little Mazda Pickup was supposed to be an upcoming project on Procrastination Garage. Wasn't a whole lot wrong with it. As far as I know, it just needs a fuel pump and probably the fuel system cleaned out. Unfortunately, we've got other problems now. Last Sunday, there was one of the workers over in the orchard there, and he came to work on the sprinkler right there at the end. He was riding an ATV. I don't know what happened, but his ATV got away from him. And it hit that. Totally destroyed the fender. Now, the good news is, we got lucky. The hood was already popped, so the fender kind of went underneath it. So it looks like it's just a fender. Now I've just got to find one. Now I've talked to the orchard owner. He's all set on making things right. So if I get the parts, he'll pay for them. So our Procrastination Garage project of this Mazda just got a little bigger. Look what I've got. Went to the licensing agency yesterday. Quick process. Our local guys, they're real good. Knocked it out in about 10 minutes. So now it's time to put the on-road stickers on. And we had to renew the off-road as well. This license plate location is not ideal, really. It's probably not really legal because from the back you can't really see the numbers. For off-road use, I'm not worried too much about it, but I may have to adjust that. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and peel the old stickers off because I've got several years worth on there, and we're going to start fresh. So let me get a hair dryer and we'll get to work on that. How you doing, Bear? Yeah, you just hanging out because Dad's down here? Yeah? You're such a good kitty. Yes. Such a good boy, huh? I was getting ready to just take the hairdryer to it and remove those old stickers, but I really just don't like the fact that the license plate's not in view now that I've got the street license. So I'm going to go ahead and take the license plate off and see if we can figure out a better place to put it. I always want to make sure we have the proper tools for the job. Screwdriver, of course, and a pair of pliers. No, we're not going to bother with the right size wrench. License plate is off. Now what do we want to do with it? Do we want to maybe just put it right up here? Could do that. License plate already was not lit from below. There's no light area down there. So I don't think it would really matter if we put it up there. I never paid much attention. This is a 2007 Outlander, and this is a 2008. And look at the taillight differences. You got all this fancy surround on that one, and then just very basic on this one. And the problem with that is, it's easy to put a license plate here, but when you come over to this one, it's a little different. But I can put the license plate up here as well, and I can drill holes in here, and I can reach in from behind and get to them. So I think that's what we're going to do. That's going to be the most expeditious way of doing things. We're just going to eyeball it. One down. Looking good. Just like that, we got the new stickers on. Let's put the plate back on. Well, I was trying to get by with a pair of pliers, but honestly, they're tucked up there kind of far, so I went and got a ratcheting wrench. That's better. While I was hoping to use the old hardware to put the license plate on the red ATV, they just weren't quite long enough. Those are the ones that were in there, and I swapped them out for some that were just a touch longer. The problem was reaching my fingers back behind there. It was really tight, and every time I'd get a washer on there and then try and put the nut on, I would knock the washer off. And after doing that 3 or 4 times, I said, hey, let's find a longer bolt. So there you go. New license plate mounted and new stickers on there. Looks good, right? On both machines. Yeah, there we go. So it used to be the stickers were on the side here, and then they switched the license plate, and I've still got the old stickers on there. So while I'm out here with my hairdryer, I'm going to go ahead and pull these off. Got them on both sides on both machines. I've got the old registration stickers peeled off of both ATVs. It was a bit tricky. You had to keep the heat just right. If you got it too hot, the old decal just wanted to tear, and if you didn't get it hot enough, the adhesive wouldn't break free, and then the stickers would tear that way as well. So anyway, it's all done. There's a project we should undertake sometime. Used to be a cover on that box, but going down the highway one day, it blew off, and I never did find it. So we'll have to figure out something. Did you see Harbor Freight had a 20% off coupon here a week or so ago? Any item, with an asterisk of course, but anyway, a couple of the items that were on sale for the 20% off was Toolbox and a spare tire carrier. So let's see if this one's going to fit the smaller trailer. I sure hope it does. It looks like it survived the trip from China. Okay. There's a couple of marks right here, but you know what? I think I did that with I had it upside down on the gravel in the driveway. No big deal. It's going to get dinged up anyway. It's a freaking toolbox, for crying out loud. Yeah, there we go. All right, now let's see if it fits on the trailer. Need to start by removing the spare tire. Got 2 lug nuts holding it on. New project, Bear had to come check it out. Yeah. Absolutely the smartest way would be to just take a measurement here, and we are 14 3/8 maybe, and let's go measure the bottom of the box. That's 14 1/4. That should fit. Some people say cheap, I say frugal. These pieces of metal here were rim protector for some apple bins. They protected the edge of the plywood. So I saved them when I got rid of the apple bins. I'm thinking if we double them up, they'd make a decent support. I just tucked one into the other, and then when you lay it on edge, it looks like that. And I think when I bolt it down here and over there, and on this one, I think it'll be plenty of support for that box. There it is mocked up. It'll look just like that. So let's do it. The metal pieces weren't in perfect shape. They needed a little bit of pounding on to get them to lay flatter. I've taped them up, and then I've got marks where they need to be cut on both of these. There and there. So we'll cut them and we'll bring them back and bolt them down. I've got all the pieces cut down. I'm pretty well satisfied, so now I'm going to drill some holes down through the frame. All the holes are drilled, and I found these long bolts that I'm going to use to hold everything down. You can see I've got the bolts just placed there. And so now, assuming this one bolts down in like it should, I'm going to pull everything apart and paint those pieces black. I knew you'd want to see before I went off to paint. It's about 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. I've got the first coat of paint on these. Hour or so, two, I'm going to flip them over and give them another coat of paint on the other side, and then we'll call these pieces done, and the goal is to let them dry overnight, and we'll do final assembly tomorrow on Sunday. Sunday morning, pieces are all painted and dried. As dry as you're going to get overnight. Still in the mock-up stages. Got the cross pieces in place, going to set the box on top, figure out where we're going to drill the holes. I've got the toolbox sitting in place, all centered. That's right where she's going to go, right there. So I'm going to drill 4 holes from the inside down through those support pieces to shore it up. You can see I've got one bolt installed. I stepped it up using various sizes of drill bits. That'll keep everything in place. And then you can see I've got a mark to do the rest of the holes in here. Do you see that? See that? That's my drill bit. It departed the drill. I hate it when that happens. At least I didn't break it off. We got them all drilled. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now to start final assembly. So we have another consideration here. The fact that I'm using 2 pieces of metal together and I've got a gap between them, when I go to tighten everything down, this area is going to want to crush. We don't want that to happen. Out here on the edges, it's not going to be such a big deal. I can stick like an oversized nut or something in there. The problem is with these inner holes here for the toolbox. Now, I could probably just go ahead and tighten things down and let it crush a little bit and it won't be a big deal. But let's see if we can figure out how to get some spacers in there and hold them in place while we bolt everything together. First, I got to find some spacers of the appropriate size. I'm thinking a big nut would work. It pays to be a pack rat, and I could thank my grandfather for these old bearing bushings. I have a whole drawer full of them, and look at that. Look at that. That is perfect. Now we've got to figure out how to hold them in place. It didn't take too much finesse to get the spacer in there and get bolts down through that will hold everything in place. Now last night I was thinking about it. Instead of putting these pieces on the top, how about we put them on the bottom? So I've got this carriage bolt installed. I had to drill this top hole out a little bigger for it to fit. So now we're going to put this support here and we're going to bring it up this way. At least that's the goal. Now the holes, these holes going down through are not perfectly vertical. So I may or may not have to drill out these holes to make it fit just a little bit. We'll see. It'll be close. On the front support I got lucky. There was enough slop, everything lined up. Got it bolted in place. On the back one though, that's not the case. Come down here, you can see I'm off by quite a bit. Using my carbide bit in the Dremel, I'm going to come up here into this hole, and on that side I'm going to hollow it out a little bit so the bolt will lean a little more that direction. And then over on the other side, I'm going to take that bolt back out and do the same thing so that bolt leans a little bit. And hopefully that'll give me enough fudge room. And if that doesn't work, then I'll start opening up the holes on the support piece a little bit. The back support is now in. It didn't take too much grinding, just a little bit on each side. And then, well, and actually, I did drill out the holes on this about 1 size bigger, 2 size bigger, 6 size bigger. I don't know, something to make everything line up. So now let's see if we can get the box to drop in there. Now we've got these bolts here that are just holding our spacers in place, so we need to pull them out and then hope the spacers don't move, drop the toolbox in, and then hope everything lines up again. Haha, fat chance, but it'll be close. Here's the good news. The front holes lined up. We'll be able to drop bolts right down in those. The back ones, they're not even close. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my Dremel and I'm just going to make the holes bigger on the toolbox so it lines up and everything drops into place. And then maybe I'll have to put a washer on the top here. We'll see. The back bolts are now in. Didn't take too much grinding. Let's do a little bit of cleanup now. Got the little mini shop vac out. We'll get all those metal shavings cleaned up. Now it's time to tighten all the hardware up. I need to tighten these 4 bolts in here and then the 4 bolts on the supports. That looks semi-professional, doesn't it? I think it came out looking pretty good. All bolted down on the inside, cleaned up. You can see I got my little spacers in there where they needed to go. Yeah, I'm calling that satisfactory. And who's this little princess? Why are you running from me? How you doing, Bailey? Yeah, you're such a sweetie. Yeah, good girl, huh? Yeah. Might have to pick up this cardboard. Well, that's a wrap on this week's Procrastination Garage. I want to thank you guys for tagging along. So what did we do? Well, we loaded the ATVs up and we got them taken down and inspected, and I got the street license for them. And with that, put the new plates, or put the new stickers on the plates, and got them all ready to go. Showed you guys the dinged up Mazda Pickup and upcoming project if I can get a fender for it. And then we worked on the trailer. I put a Toolbox on there. I finally got a decent price at Harbor Freight with a 20% off coupon. So we got the box mounted. Still have to do the spare tire mount, and I need to adjust the latch on that box. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Procrastination Garage. Remember, my name's Matt. Hope you guys will subscribe. I hope you'll follow along. Tell your friends. And until next time, we'll see you later.